Yo. What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? Excuse me for a moment. You right here. Yo. What's good? What's good? In the house. Yes, sir. What's up with y'all? And we back. I apologize for the delay, but I'm in effect. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? On a Saturday night. Running good, Trey. How you doing, brother? Running good. The NFL MVP today, Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford. Good, brother. How you doing? I'm back in TikTok jail, though. Yeah, they got me in there till Thursday. I think it's interesting. I got caught off guard, but we're gonna revisit that conversation again. So that's not over. So make sure that you tune back in, because you seem to be looking forward to quote unquote destroying me, True Hoops. So make sure that you tune in, because that conversation is not over. No, that is not done. No way is that done. But we'll be back. We'll definitely do that again. Kirk Cousins is playing great. Yes, he is. That's a fact, which is surprising to me. Absolutely. Which is really surprising to me. Absolutely. Because I didn't think that with the NFC North being what it is, that Minnesota would be that good. But Kirk Cousins is playing really good. He absolutely did. He absolutely is. And no, he didn't prove to me that Jordan was the GOAT. No, he did not. No, he did not. How did he prove to me that Jordan was the GOAT? True. I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm listening. No, that's not true. But anyway, as we were saying, how did he shut me up? OG, I'm more conventional marketing. I'm more conventional marketing now after seeing this. You feeling him, Brian? Now, are you feeling him at the 3 spot, or are you feeling him at the 4? Where you feeling him at? The Vikings will never be 3-0. Both losses. Yeah, that's true. He never brought any of that up. You bringing that up right now. He never brought any of that up. So let's dead that. That's not true. That's not news neither. That's stuff that we already know. So what are you talking about? That's not news. That's already stuff that we know. So that's not news. I do, Michael. In fact, if the next 2 seasons, if he can average 18 and 7, he'll pass Malone and Jabbar in the next 2 seasons. And he'll pass Magic to become top 5 all time. So you haven't put your finger on it yet, Brian, but you haven't put your finger on it yet, but something's going on with Markin and you really liking him in Cleveland. All right. So I'll tell you what. Because I really wasn't feeling Markin going to Cleveland because I really like Okoro. I mean, all-league rookie and all rookie team, and I think that they on to something. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't want to screw this kid up. But you see something in Markin, he regressed both the years he was in Chicago with Billy Donovan. So I thought it was a mistake. I'm thinking, is this going to work? But you obviously see something that I don't. So I'm going to start paying more attention to them. I will, Brian. The preseason starts tomorrow. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Absolutely. My favorites for this season. My favorites this season. Who are my favorites this season? In the Western Conference, the Lakers, the Jazz, Denver. I gotta back off that. I gotta back off that Golden State claim. And the reason why I gotta back off that Golden State claim is because they talking about Clay won't be back till January. So we talking well over a year and a half. Right? We talking well over a year and a half. So I had Golden State at the 4 spot. So I gotta back off of that claim. And in the Eastern Conference, I mean, I saw a scrimmage with Brooklyn, and of course I know it's early and it's early in the season. Brooklyn looked razor sharp. James Harden looked great. KD looked great. Irv looked great. But is that dynamic going to stay together? Is Irv going to fall in line? I mean, what are they doing there? I don't know. And with all of that being said, I still think Milwaukee is the favorites until somebody beats them. I still think they're the favorites. Oh. The only thing Jordan has on LeBron, first of all, because this guy really bugs me. He just does. He comes around me, and all he does is he talks about the Brooklyn Nets, or he talks about how Jordan is better than LeBron, and it irritates me to the point where I don't want to talk to him, but I do. And I said this yesterday, and I've said it 1,000 times. The only thing Jordan did better than James was score. That's it. That's it. And I made my claim, and I said it more than once, and I said it more than twice. It's almost like you look forward to seeing me get buried. What does that say about you? You look forward to that. I ain't going nowhere, so you might as well deal with it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You look forward to seeing me get buried. Let's be clear about one thing. I'm not going nowhere. And what you saw yesterday, it's not over. It is not over between us. We will do this again. I was caught off guard, and I will tell you that we will do it again. Absolutely, we will. No question about it. I think I got your Hawks at I got the Hawks at 6. I'm sorry. I got the Hawks at 6. I think they take one step back. But I think that they're going to get a favorable matchup. So if Atlanta end up with the 6th seed, and they got to see Philly in the first round. If they got to see somebody like that in the first round, I do like their chances, yo. I like what they're doing. Jordan has missed more shots than LeBron. And on that, because LeBron is a top 3 scorer of all time. Thoughts on that, because LeBron is a top 3. Well, the notion that LeBron isn't a scorer. I'm over that. I've heard that countless times and I'm over it. I've heard it. LeBron's a pass first guy. No, he's not. LeBron has been in the league for 18. He's going into year 19. 17 of the 18 years he's been in the league, he averaged 25 a game or more. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. Can't nobody else in the history of the NBA say that they've done that for that long. Nobody can say that they've averaged 25 a game or more for 17 straight seasons. Nobody can say that. That's first of all. Number two, James averaged 25, 5, and 5 for 15 straight years. You know who else can say that they've done that? Nobody. Nobody else can say that they've done that. So me and my boy OG got into it yesterday about Scottie Pippen not being a top 5 player ever in the NBA when he was in the NBA. And I wasn't really prepared to talk about it. And we'll definitely do it again. Absolutely, we will. My underdog for this upcoming MVP season. That's a good question because I'm looking at the usual guys. I'm looking at Giannis. He's going to be right at the top of the list. I think KD is going to be at the top of the list. I think James Harden is going to be in that mix too because he's the primary ball handler. If he could stay healthy, he's going to be something. He's absolutely going to be in the MVP talk. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Tatum was in the MVP conversation. I don't think yet. I don't think it's time for him yet. I still think he's another year, maybe 2 years away, where he's in serious MVP talk. But I wouldn't be surprised if his name came up. No doubt. I still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer on how, because you just mentioned Donovan Mitchell. I still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer on how the leading scorer, second leading assist man, and the third leading rebounder on the best team in the Western Conference ain't in the MVP talk. How is that? That has never happened in my lifetime. And I've been watching the NBA 40 years now. That has never happened. I've never heard that before. That has never come across with me. Never heard that. Trey Young is another one. I mean, the dude was 25 and 9 last year. Not only did he not make the All-NBA team, he was an alternate on the All-Star team. I'm thinking this dude is second in the league in assists and 25 a game. How is this dude not an All-Star? Outright. Why does he have to be an alternate? Because somebody got hurt. I didn't understand that neither. No, I don't think LeBron should have gone to the Rockets in 18. What about the Mets, Tristan? Oh my God. It seems like it got tricky. It got really tricky when Jake screwed when he screwed his elbow up. When we lost him, that was it. And Thor has just never really panned out. I thought that he would have been a lot better, but he just never really panned out. I mean, I won't even talk about how bad we are with our bats. You know, Pete Alonso is who he is, but it seems like every year we're making a push and then we just fall off a cliff and we're not close. I don't know if he deserved the MVP in 18, but I'm just having a hard time with this dude being I'm having a hard time with him being arguably the best player in the game for almost a decade, and he hasn't seen a league MVP in 9 years. I'm having a really hard time with that. How is that? I'll give you Steph in 15. I mean, I'll give you KD in 14. All right. I'll give you KD in 14. I'll give you Steph in 15. I think he led the league in scoring that year. And I think that they won 60 games. I'll even give you Steph in 16. I mean, they won 73 games and he went 50, 40, 90 that year. I'll give you Steph in 16. I ain't giving you Steph unanimous, but I'll give you Steph in 16. This is when it gets tricky. I ain't giving you Russ in 17. I'm not. No, I'm not giving you Russ in 17. I know he led the league in scoring and he averaged a triple-double. So, I can give you Giannis. And the reason why I give you Giannis is because James got hurt that year. But between 17 and 18, that's where it gets tricky with me, man. That's where it gets really tricky because I'm thinking to myself, and he would have won it in 20. He would have won it in the 19-20 season had COVID not shut the season down. He would have won the league MVP that year. I'm confident. He was averaging 25 a game, and he was leading the league in assists. I actually think that MVP could have gone to Anthony Davis. I mean, when's the last time the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, and the shot block leader on the best team in the Western Conference was not the league MVP? You can definitely make a case for him, True, in 03. Hell yeah, you can. I think Denver won 15 games the year before that. They made the playoffs the next year. And they basically had the same group with Carmelo Anthony. You can definitely make that claim that Anthony could have been Rookie of the Year that year. No doubt about it. No doubt about that. That's my logic, Squid. If because that was the sole reason why he won it, is because he averaged a triple-double. Right? Because I think he led the league in scoring. He led the league in scoring in 17. He led the league in scoring again, too. So to give it to him in 17 because he averaged a triple-double, didn't he average a triple-double again the next year? And then the year after that? So if that's the logic, why doesn't he have 4 or 5 league MVPs? That James logic is, James didn't lead the league in scoring, but he was on a team before he got hurt with the Lakers in 18-19. Every team that he was on in that decade, with the exception of the 17-18 team, right? The 17-18, when he was healthy, with the exception of the 17-18 team, every team he was on that entire decade didn't finish lower than 2. They was either the 1 or the 2 seed. Now, I know that I'm going to hear, the Eastern Conference is weak. I don't listen to stuff like that. And the reason why I don't listen to stuff like that is because you still got to play everybody. I mean, this isn't college football where you only play here or you only got to play everybody. And they fared well against everybody. And for this dude to not see a league MVP in 9 years, I still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer on that. Oh, it's absolutely going to happen to Giannis. That's why I was glad that Giannis didn't win the league MVP last year. Because had he won it last year, he would have never won it again. To win it 3 straight years, he would have never won it again. That would have been it for him. Never. John, what's up, brother? How you doing? He didn't just sweep the Hawks. That was a 60-win Hawks team. They were the number 1 seed. I think that was in 14-15. Yeah, they were the number 1 seed. Kevin Love was out the playoffs for the rest of the playoffs. He was done. Mark, what you disagree with? Hmm. I don't know, Mike. Those league MVPs that Giannis won, those are pretty impressive, man. I mean, to be the league MVP and the defensive player of the year, I think he was 26, 20. I think he was last season, he was 26 and 13. The year before that, when he won it, I think he was 27 and 13. He was in the top 5 in the league, top 3 in the league in rebounds and blocks. Absolutely. And the reason why I say that, Mark, and here's why I say that. And I say that because of evidence. And the evidence that I have, Larry Bird won the league MVP in the 85-86 season. Just so you know, in the 87-88 season, he went 28 and 9. And he went 50-40-90. And Jordan won the league MVP. The next year, I'm sorry, 86-87, Magic won it. And then 87-88, Bird went almost 30 and 10 and went 50-40-90. And he didn't win the league MVP again. That was it. And he had better seasons. That's why I think that if Giannis would have won it last year, that would have been it. He wouldn't have won it again. They couldn't give it to him again. Because everything that he would have done from that point on, it would have just been what they expect him to do. In order for him to win it again after that, he would have had to do something crazy like 35 and 20 and lead the league in rebounds and blocks where they couldn't give it to him. Like for him to go 28 and 13, it would have been like, so, and be on the all-league defensive team, they would have been like, so. I think that's good for them. I think he's going to be good for the Blazers. You think a second-year Grant Hill was better than Scottie Pippen, who at that point, right? At that point, Scottie Pippen had been first. I think I already talked about this, but he had been first team All NBA for the 3rd straight year. And he was first team All Defense for the 3rd straight year. And Grant Hill, who was in his 2nd season, was better than Scottie Pippen because he went 21, 10, and 7, even though Scottie went 19, 7, and 6. I'm sorry, 19, 7, and 6. And I think the problem that we have with Scottie, I think the problem that a lot of you guys have with Scottie, the problem that a lot of you guys have with Scottie is that he wasn't really him. And that amplifies how good Jordan was. Because Jordan had people looking at Scottie like, yeah, he all right. Yeah, he's not that bad. He was pretty good. But you ain't that good. Meanwhile, this dude is running around as arguably the best all-around player in the game. As the best all-around player in the game. But we got people looking at him like, yeah, he all right. That was incredible, man. Wow. It depends on how Donovan Mitchell holds up. If Donovan Mitchell holds up, I think if he holds up and he can continue to do what he's doing, I think he'll be better over the course of his career than Devin Booker. Hmm. Well, Mark, take it a step further than that. Take it a step further than that, right? You just, like you just said, giving somebody that can score and dominate on defense. Like, so imagine LeBron running around with Dwight Howard for 10 years. Like how would he have been? Imagine that. I think it's super wild, Zip. I don't think it's wild. I think it's super wild. I did say he was better than Shaq. I'm still trying to make a case. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do, True. I'm only going to talk to True right now. Hold on, guys. Hold on for a second. I only want to talk to True because True wants to be the dominant person in this conversation. So tell me right now why Scottie Pippen was not a top 5 player in 1995-96. I'm not listening to nobody else but you right now. Not you, True. I'm sorry, True. Not you. I'm talking to True Hero. That's his name. Not you, True. This is the dude I want to. This is because he wants to talk about this and he wants to dominate this conversation. So let's make sure that we get on. Let's talk about this. Go ahead. I'm listening. What's up, Mariano? What's up, brother? Oh my God. All right. So we're gonna stop this argument right here and right now. In the last 40 years, and this is what I want to put on your mind. I want to put this on your mind. In the last 40 years, we've had 7. Is it cutting out? Hang on. Mic check. Can you hear me now? I'm good? Okay. I'm gonna save this. I am. I'm gonna save this until till me and OG do this again. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna save this until we do this again. I'm not gonna give this up. No. Mm-mm. We did this yesterday. I'm not gonna do this again. Until I see him again. I'm gonna save what I got. That's what I'm gonna do. Nah, I'm gonna save what I got. Absolutely. I will. I'm not gonna waste it on you. I'm gonna save it. for when we see each other again. I'm feeling Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick and Mary J. Blige. I think that's awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm definitely feeling that. Yes. I would not say that Kawhi Leonard is the best wing defender ever. I don't think he's a better wing defender than Scottie Pippen. I do not. And not only do I not think he's a better wing defender than Scottie Pippen, I felt like, I think it was the 17-18 season, I was starting to feel even more like Jrue Holiday was the best wing defender in the game. And I stand by that today. I think he's the best wing defender in the game. Even if Leonard was healthy, I think that Jrue Holiday is the best perimeter defender in the game. My favorite NBA play of all time? Hold that thought, Damien. Oh no, we'll definitely we'll get back to it. That's my man. That's what this is about. That's what we do. We go back and forth. Mm-hmm. I actually went to see Kid and play. I was a senior in high school. They performed at a joint called Club Sensation in New Jersey. My senior year in high school. Now we'll do it again on a Friday. We'll probably talk football on Tuesday. We go Tuesday nights and we go Tuesday nights at 8 Central, which is 9 Eastern, and we go Friday nights. So we'll probably do it again Friday night because we talk basketball on Fridays. I heard AI was a really good. He said he was a really good football player, man. I heard that too. I don't know about that one, Mark, because I've seen him in 7-game series. He's got signature lockdowns. The job that he did on Dame in 18 when they swept them, he held Dame to under 20 and under 40% shooting, shut the door on him. Never thought that I would see anything like that. Clearly outplayed Dame. Clearly. And last year in the finals, the job that he did on Chris Paul, that was awesome. Slowing him down. Now, Leonard has got some signature moments as well. He did a really good job on James, even though James did go 28, 8 and 7 that series in 14. He did do it. He did do that, but I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous. So it's not even like you said, Cash. Can't nobody make that claim. What Jrue did to Dame in those 17-18 playoffs, I haven't seen anybody do that to him ever. And I doubt that I will again. Ever. I think James Harden was, I think Iverson, I've said this in the past too, True. I think Iverson was better for the culture, but I think James was a better all-around offensive player than Allen Iverson. He was a better playmaker. I think he was a better shot creator. He shot the long ball better. He was better at getting to the stripe. Now I know the game was different back then because you can't really put hands on guys now, and James is really good at getting to the stripe. But I think he's overall a better offensive player than Allen Iverson. Hell yeah, Dame Happy Drew in the East now. Hell yeah, he is. Yes. Kobe said that. Kobe said that. Had Shaq brought what if he had that work ethic, I'd have 12 championships. He said that. Lajuan. Hey, Cash, I'll tell you what. I watched my Devils yesterday. They looked pretty good against the Rangers in the preseason. I'm not going to go overboard and go, yo, we going to the Eastern Conference Championship. But what I will say is that we looked pretty good yesterday against the Rangers. And I know it's the preseason. I'm not going to get sucked in yet. We'll see. My favorite play of all time in NBA history. Wow, that's a good one, man, because I've seen so many great plays. Seeing Jordan throw it over the top of Ewing in that 91 playoffs, my goodness. Oh. Seeing Shaq. Favorite play. Man. That's good. That's a tough one. I got to think. I definitely got to think of one. That block by James, Ian. He came out of nowhere. I didn't even see him until he blocked it. I was like, damn, where he come from? I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but blocked by James. I'm telling you, I didn't even. He came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, where did he come from? I'll tell you what, Jaden, I am very nervous about my 49ers. Russ owns us. In the 14 games that we've played them, we've lost. He's beaten us 12 of those 14 games. He owns us. Owns us. Yeah, he definitely put Chris Paul in a blender. Yeah, he did. I honestly thought that he was going to – I didn't think he was going to leave, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to stay in Cleveland. I didn't think he was going to leave, and I was surprised when he left. But it was one of those things where I understood it. I still was heartbroken because I wanted him to stay in Cleveland. I did want him to stay in Cleveland. I wanted him to continue to keep winning up there. And I understand why he left. And it was one of those things where you did what you did, my man. So I ain't got no – we good. I don't know, Julian. I haven't really been watching hockey too much, so I got to – maybe I'll have an answer for you next time I see you. My 49ers, 12-2 against us. 12-2. I think it's good how they're using Trey Lance. I do. I think it's really good how they're using Trey Lance. They're not putting too much on him. He's basically learning and he's understanding the game as opposed to just throwing him out there. More quarterbacks are screwed up by rushing them instead of teaching them the game. So what else is there, Mark? I mean, I know that rebounding is important when you're defending. I know that making it hard on guys is important. Limiting touches is important. I do know that. But when a guy gets the ball, to be able to stay in front of him, to keep him in front of you, I mean, that's pretty big. So, I mean, in your opinion, Mark, what else is important? No, I don't think Dirk would cook KG because he didn't cook KG. Him and KG went at it. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but KG outplayed him most of the time that they've played against each other. And to answer your question, the argument that I made about James yesterday, and I continue to make this, is longevity is very important. All NBA, being an all pro, being an all league defender, and longevity is very important to me. And I said that yesterday. And to look at Jordan as a defender, he did it longer. I don't think that he was a better defender than James like that. Because when I look at what Jordan did from the 86-87 season to when he retired in 93, he was first team All NBA. James had a similar stretch where he was All NBA 5 of those 6 years. And 4 of those 5 years, he finished in the top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year, including finishing twice. That's an elite defender for a long time. So my logic is that you may have done it longer, but there was a stretch where I was just as good as you, and it's not a wash. I don't have Kobe over Duncan. I don't have Kobe over Duncan and Shaq. No, I do not. And why is that, Mark? Why is Paul George used to be an elite defender? Why isn't he? Why do I find him like? And Paul George is still. This is only, what are we in? 20. We're going into the 21-22 season. I think this is year 11 for George. Why isn't he still at an elite level defensively? What's the problem? I don't understand that. Which furthers my point that the only thing that Jordan did better than James was score, because he was cooking everybody. Nobody could stop Jordan. He was dropping 40 on him. Yeah, absolutely. You'll never hear me question Jordan as a scorer. You'll never hear that, ever. You won't hear that from me. I think he came in, when I think about Paul George, he came in 2011. Yeah, I think he came in 2011. Mm-hmm. But okay, so he was drafted in 2010. All right. So the 2010-2011 season was his first year. So we're going into year 12. Okay. So not 2011. I'm sorry, 2010. So we're going into year 12 this year. It's his wingspan and his lack of ability to contest shots as well. As guys like Kawhi, Drew, and I'll even throw in Giannis. Guys are better at hitting tough shots. Guys are better at hitting tough shots. No question about that. My rebuttal to that was if Jordan is the modern day DeMar DeRozan, then that means Kobe is the modern day DeMar DeRozan. And there's no way anybody, any of you in particular, would let me get away with that. There's no way. So Anthony Davis. What were you doing in 2011, OG? What was I doing in 2011? I was working for an airline and I was watching pro basketball. That's what I was doing. or a scoring title neither, Jimmy Butler. Don't leave that part out. Not just not an all-league defensive team or a scoring title neither. Yeah, you absolutely could make a case that Dame is better, but I don't think that when healthy, he's better than Anthony Davis. No, I don't. You could try to make the case that Dame is better because of what I've seen him do. I mean, like I said, last year 29-8, the year before that 30-8. He ain't hit one playoff buzzer beater. He hit two of them. Right? But when I look at Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, how elite he is on both sides of the basketball, I think he's a top 5 player. Did you appreciate the Kobe comparison D-Book was getting this year? No, I didn't appreciate it because I don't think that Devin Booker and Kobe are comparable. Absolutely not. He don't play on both sides of the basketball like Kobe. I think that Kobe is a better athlete than him. And I mean, it sounds good because, we saw, people, especially particularly in the media, they make up narratives, right? They make up narratives, and they saw Kobe talking to him and mentoring him. So he's the next Kobe. Like, wait a minute, man. Hold on. Hang on. BOP, what's up, brother? Well, Mark, the problem is, and that's why I have such a huge problem with, with this, Scottie Pippen wasn't a top 5 player, or Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, he isn't a top 5 player. So what we've done is what has happened. I've done my best to stay on course and recognize that if you play on both sides of the ball at an elite level, that's expected from me. For me, that is expected of you to be an elite player when you play on both sides of the basketball at an elite level. I expect that. That's not something that I'm thinking, yo, this dude plays defense. No. I've said this. You guys know my famous saying, the cheese is not extra. It comes with the burger. You don't pay extra for the cheese. So not to mention, I mean, don't leave out. I mean, what are we in with Devin Booker in year 6? Kobe in year 6. That would be the 01-02 season. He had already been an All-NBA performer 3 times. He had already been an All-League defender 3 times. So that I don't even talk about the championships. Just the fact that he had been an All-Star, 4 times at that point? He had been an All-Star 4 times at that point. He had been an All-League defender. No, that's not true. He'd been an All-Star 5 times, 96, 97. So 97, 98. They didn't have an All-Star game in 98, 99. So 4 times. No. I still think, and I know that everybody's healthy, and I know what Brooklyn looks like. I know what the Lakers look like. I know what Utah looks like. I know what Philadelphia is gonna look like. With all of these, with all of these teams, I still think that the NBA championship goes through Milwaukee. You trying to win it, you got to put them dudes out. And if they can stay healthy, I think they right back in the middle of it. Who won the dunk contest as a rookie? Well, the lockout season was in 98, 99. I mean, the owners locked the players out. It all started with that Kevin Garnett contract. That's when it got tricky. And the owners felt like that they were getting shafted. So they decided to lock the players out. And half the season was squandered because of it. And they finally came to an agreement, which a lot of the players did not like because, they wanted to get back to work. So a lot of guys felt like a lot of players sold out when in reality, they just wanted to get back to work. But that's what the lockout season was about. I don't know if Spider is closer to Kobe. I don't think anybody is closer to Kobe, to be honest with you. I don't think any of these modern day players that are wing players. Nah. I don't put none of them dudes in the same sentence with Kobe Bryant. None of them. None of those dudes. And the reason why I don't put none of them dudes in the same sentence with Kobe Bryant is strictly because of who Kobe was on both sides of the basketball. Not because he was a great scorer, because of who he was as a complete basketball player. For that reason. I think LeBron, in terms of playmaking, you can make the case that he's a top 5 playmaker of all time. You can absolutely make that case. No doubt about it. Bengals going to get humbled really soon. You think so? I don't know, man. I mean, that I think they found their quarterback. That's first of all. Tyler Boyd looks like the real deal. And Jamar Chase, if they could hold on to those two and Azuma, and that defense ain't bad. That defense ain't bad at all. Not only is that defense not bad, can we accept the fact, and I think I said this yesterday on the podcast, we got to give it up to the Bengals. I know that you talk about how bad Jacksonville is. The Bengals held them to 7 points in the second half. 7 points. That's it. 7 points. The worst finals I ever watched was 2007 when San Antonio mopped the floor with that Cleveland team. Cleveland was clearly overmatched. They were clearly overmatched against them. It wasn't close. The most impressive MVP season in history? Olajuwon in 94. Either Olajuwon in 94 or James in 13. Well, Robbie, what they're going to have to do, and they're bad for one reason and one reason only, because they're cheap. And in the NFL, unlike the NBA, you can win on the cheap. You can't do it long, though. I mean, the Patriots, I think they're an anomaly. But that's going to come back to bite them. They're going to have to pay those guys. They're going to have to. Interstellar? Is that what it's called? No, I haven't watched it. Who's in it? See, Jimmy, I'm having such a problem with that, top 5 two-way players. Like we got to make a big deal out of guys who play on both sides of the basketball. That is incredible, man. That is nuts. Like I get bombarded. I get trampled when people talk to me, when I talk about Giannis being the best player in the game. When I talk about when he's healthy, Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the game. because he plays on both sides of the basketball. When I talk about Kawhi Leonard, when he's healthy, he's a top 5 player. I get bombarded. And I'm thinking to myself, why? You know, LeBron James, when he's healthy and he's playing on both sides of the basketball like he normally does, he's a top 5 player. He's probably the best player in the game. But it gets so tricky because, you know, you guys have seen KD do what he does. You see Steph Curry doing what he does. And I won't fight it. I can't fight it because it's phenomenal. I've never seen anybody like Kevin Durant be able to do what they do at that size. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's 6'10", that's that nice with the peel, that could get his shot off like that, that's that athletic. Nah, man. I think he would be in the conversation, to be honest with you, True. He wouldn't have let if I can't say that he wouldn't have left Toronto because I don't know what it was about LeBron, because LeBron was the boogeyman. He shook him. Hell yeah, I like Rick James. Rick James is dope. Why does everyone ask, what does D Book have to do to become the GOAT? I've never heard that because I've never heard Devin Booker's name in the GOAT conversation, ever. I do think, and DeMar's going to be one of the better 2 guards when his career is over. And he's going to be one of those guys, like how I talk about the guys from the 80s. I'm going to have to talk about him like that because he's going to be forgotten. So, and that's largely due to him not being that complete of a player. People are going to forget about him. And the fact that he didn't win like he should have. I love Drake. Absolutely love Drake. Let me ask you this question. When you think about, well, you guys are probably a lot younger. So you guys are a lot younger. So I mean, who can you remember who's been doing it at a high level for a decade? They've been around and they've been hot for a decade straight. Jay-Z, okay. Where do you rank Jay-Z at? MJ, where do you rank these people? In what regard do you hold these people? Was Nas hot for a decade? 10 straight years? Without a drop off for 10 straight years. And I love Nas. Nas is one of my top 5 rappers of all time. But was he hot for an entire decade? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jimmy, I'll be lying to you if I said that I knew. I'll be lying to you, Jimmy, if I said I knew where that, Devin Booker is in the GOAT conversation came from. I'm thinking, who mentioned that? Because you've never heard that from me. And you won't hear that from me. I doubt, I'm not going to say you won't because never is a long time, but I doubt very seriously that you will hear that from me. I doubt it. I don't think Pistol Pete is a top 10 point guard all time. I think Pistol Pete was a showman. He was all about the show. He didn't care about winning. That's why he averaged almost 40 a game in college. That's why he averaged what he averaged in the pros, because all Pete cared about was the show. He didn't care about winning. he would definitely be he wouldn't be looked at the way he's being looked at. He would definitely be looked at different. Definitely. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. I'm gonna do it for the Bay. Okay. We getting paid. We'll holler whenever that stop. My team good. We don't really need a mascot. Tell Tune Light one, pass it like a relay. YCMB, you is more YMCA. Drake is dope. I got the Robbie. I got the Heat. I got them at the 4 spot. I was listening to Big Pun. I wasn't listening to him. That could happen too, Jimmy. I think that they could be the 3rd seed, but I don't got them lower than the 4. I think they're gonna make a lot of noise at the very least. They're gonna be one of the. I think they're gonna be one of the 5 best defensive teams in the game at the very least. That's my favorite Drake song of all, and he's got bangers. Drake don't got dope songs; he got bangers. But that's my favorite one. Oh, I don't think it's close, Jaden. To be honest with you, I don't think it. I think they go up there and I think they stomp New England. I don't think they go up there and it's a good game. I think they go up there and stomp them. I used to live in the Bay, so I'm definitely feeling that Mac Dre line. Coming from the East Coast, growing up on the East Coast, and then moving out to the Bay Area, it was definitely it was a different flavor. But when I got there and I started getting into the music, I love E40, I love Mac Dre, I love the Loonies. Oh man, Sugar T, Rapping Forte. I love them dudes. I was feeling living in the Bay. I ain't like living in the Bay. I was feeling that. I loved every minute of living in the Bay. A better interior defender than Tim Duncan? Hmm. Olajuwon. I can make the argument for Olajuwon. Jabbar was probably the best rim protector. Him or Mutombo. Those 3 guys, you can make the argument that all 3 of those guys. I mean, Ben Wallace was Defensive Player of the Year, and I think that was largely due to how he impacted his team defensively. But him individually as a rim protector, I don't think he was as good as Olajuwon. I don't think he was good as Mutombo. I don't think he was good as Jabbar. I don't think he was good as Tim Duncan. No. I'd like to see Victor Oladipo. And I think this year, if he could hold up, that's why I think Miami is going to be such a good defensive team. Because if Victor Oladipo could hold up, so you got Vic, you got buckets, and you got Kyle Lowry, and you got Bam, man, they look like they're going to be hard to score against. Well, I had a guy who made a post. I had a guy who made a post about MPJ being he a better basketball player than Scottie Pippen. Now, most people who saw that, because I originally was like, no, he isn't. But then I started thinking about it and going, wait a minute. That's not ridiculous after year 2. That's not a ridiculous claim. You can make the argument that maybe he was better because Scottie Pippen wasn't the ball hawk that he was after year 2. He wasn't that guy yet. He wasn't buckets. So PJ Tucker is absolutely on that team. Yes, he is. What would I change for the Niners to win the bowl game in 2019? Better pass rush, man. Damn. We was up 2 scores. And our secondary, Richard Sherman got roasted. Who's every bit, by the way, and Duncan Robinson, for those of you who don't know, Duncan Robinson is a bit of 6'8". Ain't nothing 6'6" or 6'7" about him. He a bit of 6'8". Every bit of it. I thought we had them beat. I thought we were going 6 minutes left and we up 2 scores. I was like, my 49ers are winning Super Bowl. We're going to win it. So you see, you got the Heat winning the division at minimum. They're going to win the Southeast Division. Yeah, he was. Brian, and I've been talking to you a lot because I'm really interested to see Cleveland this season. I'm interested to see some teams, but that young Cleveland team, I'm gonna be watching them. I will. I'm gonna be paying attention to that Cleveland team because I like what they're doing up there with that young talent. I do, and it's gonna look good early. It is. It's gonna look good early because they got young talent, but I'm gonna be paying attention to them. No, I don't have Atlanta as a top 5 seed in the East. I got Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philly, Miami. I got Boston at number 5. You got Kobe over Tim Duncan. Okay. I'm listening. I'm all ears. The best bowl game I ever saw. 88. My 49ers beat Cincinnati. Yeah. Tomorrow's the first preseason game. You got a whole slate of them. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. I do have Boston over Atlanta. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Now you got to remember that Atlanta, with the exception of Cam not being healthy, and it was RJ Hunter, and these are young guys. So you're not really relying on them that much. And they still had 6 guys averaging double figures. When I look at that Boston team, they had an all-star in Jaylen Brown who was out the lineup. Out the lineup. So he'll be back this season. You got Marcus Smart as ahead of the attack, right? Jason Tatum's going to be who he is. I think you got your dirty work guy in Robert Williams, I think he's going to be better this year defensively and offensively. So I think Boston's going to be a lot better this year than they were last year. No, I'm not an MMA guy. I'm a boxing guy. I dig boxing. I stopped watching I'm more of a heavyweight division guy. And when Lennox Lewis retired, I kind of bowed out. Duncan got it easier having Parker and Ginobili. I will say Kobe did have O'Neal for a minute, but Kobe has more playoff wins than Duncan. Well, I got the Bulls barely making the playoffs. I got Atlanta. And the Knicks ahead of them. Not just Boston. I got Atlanta and the Knicks ahead of them. Kobe did have Shaq for 8 years. I can't ignore that. And to be honest with you, True, and it's always been this, and I stand on this, and I've said this countless times. Had Kobe and Shaq been able to hold it together, we wouldn't be talking about Tim Duncan the way we talk about him today. And that's the reason why we're talking about him the way we're talking about him today, because I think about eras. I think about how Doc got caught in the Magic and Bird era. I think about how Malone, Barkley, Ewing, Gary Payton, Clyde Drexler, they all got caught in the Jordan era. Tim Duncan almost got caught in the Shaq and Kobe era. Don't forget, Shaq and Kobe put them out the playoffs 3 times in 4 years. Bounced them. I think the Knicks' ceiling is a top 5 seed. I think their floor is the play-in tournament. I think RJ Barrett is going to be back. He's going to be healthy. I think Nerlens Noel, he's going to be better as a rim protector. They got Bullock back. They basically have their whole crew back. And adding the Euro, that's going to help them out tremendously. I think their ceiling is a top 5 seed in the East, and I think the floor for them is the play-in tournament. Yes, he was. And that's why I think he'll be better. That's why I think Randall will be better this year. He was trash last year in the playoffs. He wasn't good, and he'll tell you that he wasn't good. So, yeah, Reggie Bullock is gone. He's not with the Knicks anymore. I'm not thinking about Maxey because he's in Philadelphia. My issue with Kemba is he going to be able to hold up? That's my issue with him. And you're going to have that instinct. You're going to have that better secondary scorer in RJ Barrett. I think he's going to be better this season. Darrell, I want you to do me a favor. And I ain't asking you to get on the bandwagon. I'm not asking you to go all in. All I'm asking you to do is peek your head in to see what the Carolina Panthers are doing. That's all I'm asking, because I think they're a lot better than what people are giving them credit for. And having the quarterback that they have now, who the best thing that could have happened to him was getting out of New York, because they were going to wreck him. They were straight going to wreck him. Sam Darnold was going to get wrecked in New York. And he's just looking so much better than he did. Now, I will tell you this, losing J.C. Horn in that secondary, because Carolina has, as of right now, they had the best overall defense in the game. So, no, I don't think that'll go over the Finals MVP. Nope. I am not sleeping on Carolina. Absolutely not. I am not sleeping on them. It's going to be they got a difficult task with this with Dallas coming into. We're having to go to Dallas strictly because losing JC in that secondary, and Dallas throws the ball a lot. And I know you just signed what's his name from Jacksonville. I know you just signed him. It was just you just traded for him. So I know that's big, but that's going to be tough. Most assists for shooting guard in a tough Western Conference. Kobe was able to win championships in 2008 versus the Spurs. Absolutely. I won't fight that. Now, since we're on the subject of defense, from 1998-99 to 2008, that's 10 seasons, Tim Duncan finished in the top 10 in Defensive Player of the Year every year, including 6 times he finished in the top 5. I think Kobe did that 4 times. Overall, in those 10 years, in 12 years, I think Kobe finished 5 times. 5 or 6 times he finished in the top 10 in Defensive Player of the Year. And the highest Kobe finished was 3. Tim Duncan finished twice He finished second twice. And he finished in the top 5. He finished in the top 5 6 times. So Jaden, I had you at 5, right behind Phoenix. That's of course until I found out that you're not getting Clay back till January. So I don't know what he's going to look like. I thought you were getting him back right in the beginning of the season. That's why I was really high on the Warriors. You're not getting him back till almost half the season is over. So that's a little difficult. Kobe has 9 all defensive teams to Duncan's 8. Yep. And Duncan is a 15-time all-league defender. Kobe is a 12-time all-league defender. So, but that's definitely the points that you're making. Those are legit. That's not just the whatever. No, that's legit. I still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer on what's going on with Clay, but they talking about him not being in the lineup until January. I thought he was ready to go too. A team that will disappoint? Portland. I wouldn't be surprised if the Trailblazers didn't make the playoffs this year. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. No, I actually think Luka's going to be better because Jason Kidd being the point guard that he was, and I think he'll get Luka to buy into him being not just more of a distributor, but just looking for guys more and involving people more, not just being a distributor, being a better distributor, knowing who to find, knowing when to find this person, when to get off the peel. Because Luka just out there balling. And it wasn't working with him and Rick Carlisle. Jason Kidd being a primary ball handler, I think he can level Luka off. I'm just saying instinct. I'm not saying it as fact, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Trailblazers didn't make the playoffs this year. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. I think Wiseman's going to be a lot better too, man. I do. I was thinking that if I play somebody that's better than me at defense than I am at offense, I'm going to lose. Wow, what? I don't understand. Wow, what? What did I say? What I miss? I missed something. I think Wiseman's going to be a lot better. Absolutely. With Draymond in his ear, Draymond mentoring him, I think he's going to be a lot better this season. And I think they're going to be a lot better. But, losing Clay to almost half the season, and I had to reevaluate. I think that their window is closed, Notorious. I'm going to get to Ben Simmons in a second, but it wouldn't surprise me about the Trailblazers. But I think their window is closed. I think that, and I don't know if we've had this conversation, but I think that that team peaked in 19 when they lost to the Warriors in the West Finals. That was the time to retool them because I mean, I'm a firm believer. I've always felt like this. When you get swept out the playoffs, you ain't close. I don't care what round it is. When you get swept out of the playoffs, you ain't close. And for the Trailblazers to get swept out the playoffs and that backcourt to get dominated like it did by Clay and Dame, for them to just run it back the way they did, I'm thinking, did you guys not see what I saw? Did you guys not see what any of us saw? For you guys to just run it back and think, all right, we're going to try this again next year? No. Man. No, I don't think Dame the Golden State works. And the reason why it doesn't work is because, I mean, we already got guys who do what he do. We already got those guys. We don't need any more. And on top of that, if you're calling up the Trailblazers, you might have to come off Steph Curry if they giving you Dame Lillard. Because they ain't giving you Dame Lillard unless you coming off Steph Curry. Or one of them dudes. You got to come off Steph or Dre or Clay. What's up, Ben? How you doing, brother? Pro Football Focus? Not really, man. I they're difficult to get a gauge on. Hell yeah, Rondo was a top. If Prime Rondo was a top 10 point guard today, especially if you put him on the right crew. Especially like if you put Rondo with Giannis. This Ben Simmons thing, man. I'm having such a difficult time with it because it sounds to me like the situation isn't salvageable. Even though if we could get these dudes in a room, him, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Doc, we could get these dudes in a room and go, yo, let's figure this out. Let's get to the bottom of this. Right? Then maybe we could. But when we get to the point where I don't want to talk to you dudes, I don't want to see none of you, and the organization ain't paying him because he ain't showing up to work, this situation has become extremely toxic. And I don't want it to spill into the season because I think Philly got a good team, yo. I do. No, I don't think that they're walking. I don't think that they're gonna force him to walk away. Not yet. I've always thought that Bam was a 20 and 10 guy. If you move him to the 4, I don't like him playing the 5. I don't like him playing the 5. I think he would be so much better if they moved him to the 4. And I've said this before, Jay, and I'll say it again. You quit now. If you run now, you'll run forever. And I think that he's going to look back on this situation in 10 years, in 15 years. He might not say it publicly, but I do think that he's going to look back on this and go, I should have kept my ass in Philadelphia and worked it out. I do believe that he's going to say that. Mm-hmm. He was 19-9 last year. And the year before that, when they went to the finals, he averaged a double-double. So, man. Nobody else's instinct. Let's be clear about that. And it's all upstairs. It's all in his head. It ain't nowhere else. Because we've seen the videos. We've seen him working on his game. We've seen him doing these things. Why has it not been implemented into the game? What is the problem? What happened? I do have health concerns about Zion. In fact, that's my biggest issue with Zion right now. If he can hold up, I think he's going to be the face. If he can hold up and put a mid-range in his game, I think he's going to be the face of the league. I do think that. KPJ and Jalen Green backcourt will work this season. And the more I watch Jalen Green, I think that he's going to be awesome. But he just looks so young, man. And he just looks like he's not really – I don't know if he's ready yet. But I think that he's going to be – I think he's going to be dynamic at some point. Because I saw a couple games last year with him in the D-League, and he looked like he's somebody that they're going to have to deal with. True. Since you're looking up numbers, go look up Tim Duncan in 1998. I'm sorry, in 1999 in a closeout game in Game 4. Go look at his numbers against the Lakers. And go look at his numbers again in 2003 when they beat the Lakers in the closeout game. Go look at his numbers since you're looking up numbers. That's what I'm saying, Jimmy. He's improved every year, and I think he would be so much better how much better would he be playing the 4 if they had a guy who could just rim protect, not even like Rudy, right? Not somebody that was elite, but somebody that was solid. I can't say Lopez because he's not solid. I can't say Ayton either because he's improving. He's just young. Maybe somebody like Valanciunas. Hey, I think we've already had this conversation. We got to come up with something new, yo, because we can't call that dude come bucket. We can't do it. We got to come up with something else. That's not going to work. We can't be holding up signs in the arena going, come buckets. No, we can't. That's terrible. Oh, no, we can't call him that. No. Miles Turner, absolutely, Jimmy. Miles Turner would be great. We can't call him that, yo. We got to come up with something else. That's not going to work. We can't call him that. No way. We can't. No way can we call him that. We got to come up with something else, y'all. We have to. That's not going to work. No, David Stern would have he would have done something about this. He would have started implementing fines and all kinds of nonsense. Get a real rim protector. Jared Allen, Miles Turner. If they had somebody like that. Oh, if they had Miles Turner or if they had Jared Allen, they would be my favorite in the East. No, they don't, Instinct. They don't got nobody. There's nobody on that crew called the ball sack. No, they don't. You lying. No, they do We got to come up with another name, guys. We have to, man. Seriously, yo. We can't call him that. We cannot call this dude Come Bucket. No. Go to the. Oh, my God. That's terrible. We got to come up with something. Holy shit. No, he's not saying that. Just get a real. He's saying get a real 5-man. And let Bam play his natural position. You might want to go check them numbers again, True. In 1998-99, in game 4, pretty sure, yeah, he had 33 and 14. And in 2003, I think he had 37 and 14 again, something like that. So, yeah, so. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Hey, I apologize for being late. I got caught up, and I apologize. It will not happen again. What's today? Saturday. It was really good to see you guys. I'm going to get with you real soon. But thanks again. And I can't apologize enough. Again, I apologize for being late, and it won't happen again. I will not. It will not happen again. So, and I'll see you guys really soon. So until then, take it light, but take it.